Hello YouTube, welcome to my shop and welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. You know, I find these little propane torches, propane and MAP gas burning torches, to be really helpful around the shop for heating up small sections of steel and whenever you just need a concentrated high heat source. These things are just great for that. But for larger sections of steel, when you want to heat them up, these really just don't have the power to get the job done. So today I decided that I needed to build a larger propane torch of my own. And since I'm filming this from the end of the video, I can actually show you the final result. Here we are. Yeah, like I said, it makes plenty of heat and it gets the job done, but still there are a few improvements I'd like to make, and so we'll probably see another video coming up about that. But in the meantime, if you want to see how I built it, just keep watching, or if you just want to see it in action, just skip to the end of the video. So real quick, I'm just going to go over all the parts I use. For those of you that are building your own propane burners, you can kind of see what I did. Right here we have a vacuum cleaner blower that I salvaged. It's a little bit more powerful, a bit too powerful really for this type of a thing, so I wouldn't really recommend using one of those. But if you cover up the hole here a little bit, it does the job. This is just a normal electrical box here. You can get these any hardware store. That's the on and off switch that came with the vacuum. And this light, this is something I had laying around. It's just a lens cap and a bushing for that. The light bulb, though, is from the original vacuum also. I just thought it was kind of cool, since that was already wired in there, that I might as well use that to do something fun. Now, pretty much the rest of it is just normal black iron plumbing pipe. We have this piece here, a little reducer fitting. This goes down to about 1.25 inches here. This is just a piece of scrap pipe I had laying around that I fabricated. I cut and welded into this tube, or this funnel shaped. Now for fuel, we just get that from a normal propane tank for like a barbecue grill type thing. And then that runs through a barbecue grill regulator and then through a propane hose. Both of those two things I got from the grill section of a hardware store. They're quite cheap as well. And then that is connected to a brass flare fitting, because the end of this is it's a flare connection, not an NPT thread. So you have to get a flare fitting, but that was in my plumbing section at the hardware store also. This is just a plain ball valve that's rated for gas use. And I just use that to control the flow of gas into the burner. Here we have some more pipe fittings, elbows and such, a bit of cobbled together fabrication. This pipe just goes right into this main tube here, and it turns and goes this way, and it comes out right about there. In fact, I can take this off and show you the inside of it. It's not even on center, but it does seem to work, so you can see it goes in there. There's an elbow, and it comes out right there. And the air obviously comes out all around it. Oh, and then I guess I forgot, for connecting the vacuum cleaner to the main tube, I just had this rubber coupling that you can also find in the plumbing section, and that proved to be a very convenient way of connecting the two things. everybody, it is now a new day, and since yesterday was New Year's Eve, it is now also a new year. Happy New Year's. And what better way to kick off 2019 than to finish building this awesome propane burning torch that we started yesterday. As I was closing up shop, I was going over all of my electrical work. I noticed that the plug that originally came with the vacuum cleaner motor was in fact a 2-prong cord. I did a little research and found that the vacuum cleaner this came from was likely what is called double insulated, and that means that the entire outside of the vacuum cleaner was made of plastic and there was no risk of shocking the user of the vacuum cleaner. But now that we're using this motor on a entirely metal framed propane burner, we have reintroduced that risk of shock, and obviously we don't want to shock to death the person holding this thing, so we're going to have to change out this plug. And luckily I have just the thing to do that. This here, excuse me, this here is an old extension cord, but if we cut this off, it will work just fine as a plug for our propane burner. And so that is what we're going to do next. We're going to wire up this new plug.
Hot in hand, but baby hot in hand, but baby hot in hand, but baby hot in hand, yeah! Hot in hand, but baby hot in hand, but baby hot in hand, but baby hot in hand, hot in hand.
So now that the electrical box is finally done, we're ready to move on to phase 2 of this project, and that is plumbing in the propane line. And after we do that, we'll build a test and see if this torch works.
I got wasted off of dry land. Somebody tell me what the hell is going on. Then it hit me like an anvil. I must have known you would do this right from the start. In a treasure, a displeasure. I was trying to see when it fell apart. I got wasted off of dry land, and I lost my judgment the moment I met you. I keep on falling down.
Alright, so I just finished all the plumbing, and that means it's time to test this thing out. Let's go outside.
I don't know
chance to see some of the test footage of this thing in action, you probably noticed I added this piece that I didn't really show you guys making. I just cobbled it together in a few minutes and it's really ugly, but what it's called is a flare. And basically what it does is it stabilizes the flame in the end of the burner, so that way well, in my case, the flame wouldn't even stay lit. You would light it and it would just go right out without the flare. But with the flare, the flame stays lit and it burns just fine. But as far as this goes, there are some improvements I want to make on this thing. For one thing, the shape of the flame I wasn't satisfied with. It was very wavy. It didn't stay still. And as you can see on this torch here, the flame stays very still. It almost looks like it's a part of the torch itself. And that is something that I would like. That's something I would like to see in this torch in the future. So I'm going to rebuild this one, and you'll see that in another video. But for now, this will do the job. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a great rest of your evening.